Hi everyone, it's Rocio, Community Manager with Life by You, and I'm here to walk you through a tour of the town today. A usual Community Manager disclaimer up top. We do have a lot of stuff in progress right now as we try to fix up elements of the game, so until we get some of that sorted, we wanted to show you some more general stuff, including the tour of the town, editors, we'll show you some lots, that kind of stuff. I also want to note that I have my vegetation distance settings set in a way that allows for really smooth gameplay, so you'll notice the vegetation pop in and out, and depending on your computer, you may want to set that lower or higher. Now let's get started. So let's go ahead and start at the edge of the map. You're going to see some familiar locations in this video, but hopefully this will give you a better lay of the land on where everything is in town. And here you see me regretting my starting location, so let me just go ahead and set that in the right spot. So here we are at the edge of the world. I'm going to place us on the road and let's just take a quick tour through the hills. Following the road, you can kind of tell that this is countryside. Once you get past the hills, you make it to the vineyards. You can see the bus taking a turn here. I think Rod mentioned this in a previous video, but we have a couple of bus stops around town and you can add your own as well. This entire area of the map is pretty open and available for you to build on if you want to build on any of this land, or you can just leave it and leave a nice scenic area for your humans. Let's continue down our road trip through town. Just past the countryside and the vineyards, you'll find that there's a rest stop. This is to make sure that if your human has any needs that need to be fulfilled while you're out here, don't worry, there's somewhere for you to go. Let's keep heading towards more of the downtown area. We have another rest stop here, and you can kind of see the general layout of this side of town. Let's take a quick look at where we came from so you can get a feel for where everything is and how far it is from each other. Next on the tour we have a park, which you might recognize from our nature video. The team is a huge fan of nature, flowers, and we really have a lot of fun putting these together. And now onto these lots on the right over here. You might recognize this one. Let me just get a good look at it. But this is the Food Mart, which we covered in our Food Mart lot tour. And right next to it, you might recognize the car dealership from last week's video. Let's zag a little bit to one of the cafes. Here you see Main Street Cafe. And if we zig back, you'll find one of the office buildings in Life by You called Pillar Financial, just within walking distance for lunch. For all of the tourists that come to town, there's Seaside Gifts just by the beach. Next to that, we have Seaside Styles for all of your wardrobe needs. And across the street from that, we have Vanity Salon for hairstyling. Continuing down the row of businesses, you might recognize the Ivy Lounge from when Rod was playing. And next to that, another office building, Beachside Offices. Right next door is another familiar building, the Lotus Gym. We are working on the time change transition right now, so before we get into the residential, a quick cut. You might recognize some of these houses from previous videos. Please feel free to ignore my double house, I was testing something. And let's continue our tour with the Copus offices. Here's a quick preview at one of the lots we're currently working on, the Boho Boutique Hotel. Again with some primetime placement because it's just across the street from the Honeymoon Restaurant and the Itty Bitty Bistro. This seems like a great time to remind you all though that if you don't like the placement of any of these lots, you can go ahead and just pick them up and move them. So we can't wait until other people show us their town tours, honestly. So this is the general feel for this neighborhood and how it's laid out. As you might have gathered from the names, this is the beach side of town, so this is where you would get the properties that are like beachside real estate. In case anyone is wondering, we do not have a job called beach. And with that, it's time to head to the other side of town. Let me just pull up the map and plot out our route here. This part of town is a little bit north of the part we were just looking at. So let's go ahead and head northeast and around so that we get a nice scenic view. Let's just follow this path along, and let me just find the perfect angle so that you can hopefully see the layout a little bit better. As I'm moving along the path, I'm using a couple of different controls here, including the standard WASD as well as my mouse to pivot and orient myself. So we just moved up along the river, and crossing this bridge, you'll find the other section of town. Much like the other section of town, there's a mixture of both residential buildings and business buildings on this side of town. This side, especially along the river, are one-floor houses, so if you're trying to build up a house or trying to work your way towards a nicer house, this is a good starting zone. Now for some of the businesses. So here you can see the Sweet Salon. and the chic boutique for those who are looking to shop. Right next door, you have the boutique hotel. So on this side of town, your tourists have somewhere to stay as well. Right behind the boutique hotel, there's a whole park area. Let me try to get you some good angles of this park so that you can see. Oh nice, I never noticed that ivy growing behind that building. And zooming out a little bit, I got a little too close there. And that is the park. I'm pretty sure that's another house over here, so let's keep going. On this side of the street, you will find the Cozy Up Cafe as well as the Acorn offices so that you can work and get your caffeine fix in. Moving down the road, you find the Friendly Food Mart so that you have a grocery store if you live on this side of the river as well. And one more cut for the time transition. We're about to hit nighttime. Let's finish out the tour with a nice nighttime look at these houses up in the hills. Thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoyed the tour.